I'm Will Patterson. I'm a brand designer based in the north of England. My journey into graphic design and brand identity design started with calligraphy. And I'm going to show you the process of how I use Envato, the best creative asset toolkit to streamline my workflow. You ready? So, this is our new studio space and it's absolutely massive. We've got a lot to do. It's basically just an empty vessel, but the first thing I want to do is put our brand new studio space brand mark on that wall. So when designing any logo or typography, I need to find my direction, and I do that in a mood board. And here my direction with all these images that I've taken off Instagram with my favorite lettering is this kind of vintage Georgian feeling. It's not Victorian, it just feels like it's got a bit of modernity to it in 2026, but also feels like there's a lot of heritage towards it. Anytime that I start a process, whether it's a logo, whether it's a font, whether it's a bit of lettering like a mural, like I'm doing, I start with sketching. And this studio is called Will Patterson Design Studio. And I wanted to have some lettering inside so when people walk into this beautiful space, that they would see what we are and what we do and who's running it. I want to make sure I've got a nice composition, and I'm just playing around with different compositions and how they work. I'm pretty certain the name of the studio is just my full name, Will Patterson Design Studio. So what I start with is kind of that framing. And we've got about this. Using dot grid paper for drawing is the easiest way, so you don't have to use a ruler all the time. You just got nice straight lines everywhere. From this, what I can do is then kind of just mark out the areas. So if I was to do this again, like Will, this top bit will be Will. This second part, I can go crazy. I could do like this sort of rising banner if I want to. So you can see like that's how I start every composition, because what we're looking for is balance through the whole piece. And also we want to make sure it fills out enough of the space. There's nothing worse than being in the space and it just doesn't fill it out correctly. But to do that, we'll need to mock it up later and do some rough sketches of these. So what I'm going to do is start doing this slightly different. I love to draw on paper. I love to spend time, even though it's slow, even though I could use AI to design this, I could use just the computer. But there comes a time where I still want the pencil and paper experience, so I shove it into the iPad. I use Procreate, and this allows me to get straight lines and work anywhere. And on the iPad, I'm able to make a lot of mistakes and refine it without having to use tracing paper. And it also makes it a lot easier to bring it in to Envato later for when I'm wanting to create mockups without having to vectorize it or digitize it. It's already digital and it's on the iPad. Okay, now I have the sketch to a point of where I'm pretty happy with it. I like the way it looks, the composition is nice, but there's a few things I want to test first. And I also want to see this design in different ways. I want to actually mock this up on the wall itself. And that's quite hard to do because there's a lot of textures in there and I'd have to spend a load of time working out the textures, doing all these crazy things. So instead of that, I used Envato's Mockup Gen. And Envato is the perfect place to find creative assets like mockups. But not only that, you can generate them. With Envato's ImageGen tool, I can hand it an image off the wall to show me what it could look like with my mural design. And that's not even the best part. I can take this same image and ask Envato to create a mockup of a t-shirt. I can make a mockup of this on a different wall and see which wall it could be on. The opportunities are literally endless, and it stops that barrier of wondering what it could be like and allowing you to see what it will actually be like. Seeing the design from Envato's ImageGen mockup allows me to see what I need to adjust. And it's one of many creative tools that Envato has on their platform. So to create the mural, there's a few ways we could do it, but we live in the world of technology. So I thought, why don't we use a projector? And using that projector with the same image, making sure that it was correct from what Envato has shown me through the Mockup gen, I can start stenciling it in with a pencil with some faint outlines. So in painting the mural, I use traditional tools like sign writing brushes. These are called quills. And these allow me to keep a steady hand as well as this stick that I use. It keeps me a steady hand without having to touch the wall and shove my hand in paint. A few hours later, the mural is completely finished and it's on my wall. Looks amazing. I couldn't be happier. Now, Envato's ImageGen and Mockup generation and all their creative assets allow me to be able to do this a lot easier. And ImageGen is only one of many different creative assets that Envato offers. So if you're creative, whether you're in sound, design, art, whatever, use Envato.